jail for resisting.
Okay, I want to talk about something here when you have multiple officers like this and engaging with two occupants. And there are a lot of ways this can be done. I'd like to share with you a way that I believe is incredibly safe. It's the contact hover method, where there's one officer who's the contact officer and the other officer or officers act as the cover officers. The contact officer does all of the talking. The cover officers only cover the contact officer and the vehicle or the location for safety. There's a lot of benefits to this. One is the observation and the lack of having to multitask and engage in conversation and multiple people talking, and sometimes you can miss something that the other person is saying. And I get it that you can go both ways, but in my opinion, the best practice is usually to have a contact officer and a cover officer, so there's no confusion, there's no over talking, and the safety is at the highest that it can possibly be. There's another point to this that I'd like to add, is that a really good interview of a driver and a passenger is like a music virtuoso if you do it right, because you're asking questions because you want to elicit certain responses that the passenger may react to, and if you have other officers engaging, they can throw off what it is that you're trying to do. And not saying that that's what's happening here, I'm just giving you some concepts that really work well in policing that I've seen in my experience.
It's that simple. I'm giving you a lawful command for you to give me your ID. It doesn't matter. You're not wearing your seatbelt in the front seat.
Write me the citation.
Ma'am.
That's my insurance.
You're making this a lot harder.
She's not driving. You pull me over.
I have nothing to do with this. Y'all make me very
I'm okay with that.
Ma'am, I need you to identify yourself, okay?
Sir, I'll explain it to both of you guys at the same time, okay? She's not wearing a seatbelt. Are you going to let me explain, or you keep talking over?
Again, with the torso exposure on both sides of the car and the head inside the car. These guys look great in uniform, and I've done Orlando PD videos before. I know these guys are highly trained. I just, torso exposure really is a concern.
Hold on. Yeah, Mike.
Are you going to step out of the car? Write me that citation. I don't have to get out the car.
Yep, you're being difficult. Go on.
I gave you my license registration.
So I'm educating you, okay?
Okay.
The least you can do is give me your ID because it's required.
Where is the case law? Who did I need?
Pennsylvania versus Mims is the case law.
Pennsylvania versus Mims governs the driver. Maryland versus Wilson covers the passenger. Officers are 100% correct here.
It's very cut and clear. If you're in the front seat, you're not wearing a seatbelt, you get a ticket, you're required to identify yourself.
I'm going to get a ticket for even if I identify myself. I'm not going to get a ticket.
No, it's a ticketable offense. We use our discretion to give you a ticket or not. But you have to identify yourself. Because if we're going to write a ticket for somebody, right, we have to know who they are. What's that?
Don't hit my shit.
I need your...
Both hands on the steering wheel. We're going to have you step out. Both of you are stepping out of this car. You first.
You hear me?
Dare you to get a work permit and try to go to Canada? It's a 1 hour shakedown and hours of paperwork, and to get in the country to do stuff. It's crazy. But go ahead. Am I going to get stopped at the border?
No, you'll be fine, Dr. G. You've got name recognition, and it'll be a scandal of hilarious proportions if something does happen. No, it's a death cult to some extent. You know, like I have.
No, wait a minute. Wait, I don't believe it. I'm pushing back because it's so hard for me to accept that, and that means that somebody in the legislature wants people dead because they want to save money, and they are draconian and have no other concerns.
Dr. G, you pull up the article from CBC News, which is state-funded media, talking about the financial benefits of medical assistance in dying. They actually had the balls to say, as though it was rocket science, not only will it not cost the healthcare system money, it'll save the healthcare system money. And then you go to the other rag, which I think was the National Post at the time, putting out a survey to the effect that 2/3 of all Canadians support the idea of medical assistance in dying for the homeless. So what they do is they sensitize you to the horrors under the cloak of benevolence or cost savings. Yeah. And I say it's a death cult. They don't frame it as a death cult. They frame it as a choice cult. And you have that Dr. Death, her name is, I forget her name, who tried in all the people that she's killed because she's liberated them from their misery. That's how they frame it in their own minds. The reality is, my father-in-law passed away from cancer, and by the grace of God, he didn't suffer for very long. He went into a hospital and died within 48 hours. I know people who suffer from terminal illness, and you don't want to see someone with pancreatic cancer with no hope for the future, and you have to say, sit there and suffer because I don't believe. No. But when we've gone from that, and you can look up all these cases, They killed a woman who had multiple chemical sensitivity because they couldn't find her appropriate housing to satisfy her allergy, and so she opted for death. They killed the 26-year-old kid who was diabetic and blind, and it was depression. They killed, I forget her name now, it was from the Simon's ad. They offer it to veterans, and at some point, the bug becomes the feature. And they say, oh no, it's not what we want to do. Oh, we're doing it, and we're doing it for your own good because we want to empower people with the...
Oh, someone in class sent over an article. Cancer treatment can drive patients to suicide. I believe it. Primarily due to intense physical suffering, severe depression, loss of autonomy, and feelings of being a burden, causing suicide risks to more than quadruple for some, notes Penn State Health. Treatments like chemotherapy and surgery often cause debilitating side effects, pain, and permanent disfigurement, leading to profound demoralization and a search for control over their remaining life, say PMC and Patient Power. Right, so then, over the years, I know many people and the frustration there and seeing the suffering people go through with cancer treatment, trying to help bring education and awareness too to other treatment options aside from the horrific regimen that Western medicine puts our children and adults through that makes them sicker usually. And they have proven that a lot of people who choose a natural or holistic approach to those diagnoses have a far better survival rate and are way healthier, and they don't go through the pain and suffering as the treatment regimen of Western medicine, which usually just makes them sicker till they die a sooner death that they would have if they had maybe opted for other things. And they're going to tell you about a couple cases of someone who died of severely metastasized stuff, and if they had only come in sooner, right? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous how many years they've gotten away with this, and they tried bringing awareness to it back in the 90s. And they fucking snuffed all of that shit and started spreading the AIDS stuff. Do you remember? And when you understand what AIDS is and what a hoax and bullshit that was, it's just an off cell count. That's all it is. And those things are very easily correctable without their drugs and surgery. Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? I know, especially when you see the hospitals filling up with children and the increased rise of childhood leukemias and brain tumors right after they wanted to ignore it and push out more dangerous vaccines. It's testing of different growth hormones and stuff in different areas. Right, and then, years later, it's like none of that ever got talked about, and you have these idiots directly connected to those activist groups pushing out fucking stem cells and Botox. Are you fucking serious? And they're just jealous. They're just jealous. Fucking stupid, nasty, fucking entitled pieces of shit. You don't deserve to be here on planet Earth. I think you should pack your shit and get the fuck out. Take the next fucking rocket to Mars, dude, anytime. Wow. Unbelievable, huh? I know we have sick fucks around here fucking little kids and dumb fucking citizens protecting them and their drugs and their dogs over human life, and we've been sick of that since we was 4 years old. And we love dogs, and we love people. We love drugs. We're having a coffee right now. And a roll of fatty. And it's my own. Thanks, Mike and Mike. You know, Mike and Mike in the morning. It's TOS, top of the mountain. Roll your own. Good to know. Very merry on birthday to you. Hey, you know what? It's actually my mom's birthday today. She's 73 frickin' years old. Can you believe it? Trucking. She is. She's doing really good. Yeah. But yeah, class just wanted to send that over. Because, I mean, now it's to the point where these fucking idiots, the same ones right out of the loops and groups and the activist groups that we're talking about, fucking with people. Unbelievable. When you hear how these people talk and the disregard for human life. Right, I know, let's focus on the mean things I'm saying, and I don't have regard for human life, because I say I hope they fucking burn in hell forever and ever, and that they feel the pain and torture these children have felt tenfold. Yeah? So what? That's not having any disregard for human life. That's having a regard for human life when you want to protect people from sick, motherfucking, unaware pieces of shit that like to fucking beat up little kids and unaware citizens committing fraud, putting dogs and drugs before human beings. No, I think that's the exact opposite, you motherfucking stupid, astute piece of shit. You want to go to the other class? I'd get the fuck out of here if I were you. And to you fucking sick fucks, pack your shit and get the fuck out. Do you understand? No, people who fuck little kids and the dumb fucking cunts around here that have been protecting them playing stupid, fucking with our system and their stupid fucking paperwork and reports and the lies and the bullshit and the childish fucking beliefs, ignoring fucking reality, attaching childish fucking beliefs to clouds and basic human functioning symptoms. What the fuck are you talking about? You're not going to tell me